All right, so what I have on the screen right now are two separate videos that are playing. Um, they will be playing a video of me doing a placement sketch for sixth grade. And when you're doing this placement sketch, you have one of two options, and that is you can draw the construction tools where we have the hammer, the wrench, and like a pliers, or you can draw the art one. And again, this is art tools that are made up of tape and ink bottles. So I'm going to go ahead and play these and you can kind of watch. The reason I'm doing this video is to talk you through the process of making a sketch. And the first thing you want to do is kind of a light placement sketch, putting things on the paper. And you can see in both of these that I am kind of doing almost in the air drawing at first, and then I bring my pencil down and do a very quick sketch. Like you can see in the top right over here, I've got the tape, and so I just did a real quick kind of oval drawing. It's not even accurate to the tape, but it just gives kind of um, the width and size to the tape. Over here on the left, you can see that I'm working with the hammer, and I just did a very light, quick sketch to get the handle, which takes up a lot of the paper space. And then the head of the hammer, I drew just a circle to kind of rotate around and show the width of that. If we come back to this one, you can see that I have it's actually like a clay tool. I just drew a diagonal line just again to place it on there. And then I did a rectangle where my hand is. So I'm currently now going back because I have everything on the art one, and I'm just kind of showing now actual dimensions and getting a little more of an accurate view to the tape. Throughout this video, I go back and forth to the tape because I draw a little bit and say, okay, I'm going to work on, the ink bottle. And then I'm like, nope, something's not right with that tape. And that's what an artist does for an observation drawing, is just constantly looking at the proportion of things, at the placement of things compared, one object compared to another. Like you can see right here, it's just kind of bubbling up, and that's not right. So I believe I go in and change that here in just a few moments. I know this one's a little light over here, but you can see that I'm now doing the details of the hammer and the actual top or the head of the hammer. I'm putting basically where it hits the nail. I have a light placement done already of the wrench, but I'm going to have to go back and add like, the ridge and the hole where you would hang it up. I have a very, very light, and it almost reminds me of a stick person, but it's supposed to be the pliers that are up here, the nose pliers. There's no thickness to them, um, and it's not realistic yet. I think I paused that one. I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit on this one. I think I go in here pretty soon too, and we'll make it darker so you can see. I'm currently on the wrench, and I'm showing the three-dimensional parts to the wrench, giving a little bit more of an accurate look to the top of the wrench. I have gotten to the point where I'm feeling pretty happy over here on my tape, and so now I'm going in and saying, okay, I got to work on this ink bottle. And my first attempt at making it realistic, you can see right here that the top of it is a little bit white if we were to compare it to the actual picture. I do go back in a few minutes and actually change that as well. So on the wrench, you can see I've added the hole that you would hang it up on when it's not in use. And again, I'm going to skip ahead on this one. Now I'm to the needle nose pliers. I'm going to skip ahead on this one because I am currently putting some details on the clay tool, making it look like it's got some depth. And I'm going to now start giving a three-dimensional quality to the sharpener. There's a lot of erasing that goes on when you're doing a placement sketch because even someone who's been drawing for years and years like myself is going to require some drawing, looking at it and saying, yeah, that didn't look right. So we erase it and we fix it. As you can see, I'm working on that. That needle nose gave me um, a little bit of trouble, but it's very fixable. Some of the details and some of the realistic qualities really won't even come in until you do your shading, and that's going to be the next video. All right, so as we skip ahead here, I'm going to finish up with the bolt and washer that's in the bottom corner, and then I will end up showing you just a little bit of shadows. There are quite a few shadows in both of these still lifes. You can see I've already started them over here. And that is going to be a part of the overall look to your still life, is not only shading the objects, but showing the placement, or what we would call cast shadows. So I'm going to go ahead and get to this point and stop it. See if we can get over here to this point. This one is just about done also. So you can see I'm still adjusting that masking tape. All right. So again, a placement sketch, start with a very, very quick drawing, placement drawing that puts things on the paper the size you want them. Break it down into simple shapes. Then once you get that done, you know where things are, they're placed correctly. You can go back and you can work on the proper height to width, that is proportion. You can make sure that your placement is correct, that you have one thing over or overlapping another if needed, and then you can work on any details and then the shadows. Once you get that done, you are then ready to move on to the shading, and that's going to be in the next video.